I did a lot of these deals with $0 in my bank account. I said yes to a $100,000 house when I was completely broke. I called a friend of mine who had capital and said, "Hey, I found a $100,000 house that we should do." He says, and he's a simple-minded older fella. He goes, "I'll go halvesies with you. I got 50 grand." And then I called a hard
That's
money
great.
lender and said, "Me and my business partner have 50 grand down. We're gonna flip this house." So he loaned me the other 50. So my business partner's half was my down payment. And then I had even though I was a broker, I had a friend in the office be my listing broker on this. And then we ended up just barely cleaning up the property and selling it to another flipper for about 130. My cut was $10,000 and it was in like 6 weeks. Right. So I made $10,000 in 6 weeks, but you know what was better than $10,000? Because that's not life-changing money. That's groceries and gas for a couple months. Right.
Very true.
What was life-changing about that was that wholesaler, that broker, that hard money lender, that business partner, we've gone on to do millions of dollars in deals.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Pedro Pereira, and I'm joined by someone who we've been looking very forward to have a chat with. This is Mike Harter, who's been making some serious moves in the real estate investing space. Mike, glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I think our listeners are going to get a lot of information and really be able to take away some really good nuggets of knowledge over here from how you're approaching just real estate investment, dealing with all of the experience that you've had before in acquisition, finance, property management, and construction management to be able to sort of put the whole picture together and give us some really good tidbits. So let's dive right in. So first off, for the people who may not be familiar with your world, with your business, give us the short version, that elevator pitch that we want to hear. What kind of markets are you operating in? What are your main focus these days?
Well, like a lot of people, I read Kiyosaki a long time ago and set out to build cash flow in the housing industry. And so we've basically got a pile of 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom houses in the Spokane area. A few out in Montana. We've ventured out as regulations changed, but we're really focused locally now. Our goal is just being a housing provider, taking unlivable houses, making them safe, clean, and functional so that somebody can use them, and building cash flow for my family. So yeah, that's what we've been at. And we're at 14 properties today. We've bought and sold them and built a stable little nest for us to be able to live the good life. It's starting to feel that way, but it's a long road to hoe.
Of course. Well, it seems like you guys are definitely on the right path. Could you tell me a bit about the experience that sort of led you here? Were you always into going to real estate? I believe you mentioned you had some brokering experience.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I originally approached the industry getting a broker's license so that I could have a front row seat to the market. And I think that's a great way for somebody to start. The brokerage business is harder than ever with how the Missouri lawsuits unfolded and just the ratio of brokers to deals in the market. It's more challenging than ever, but it's good if you go at it with the approach of, I want a front row seat to the market, because what we're really looking for as real estate investors is, although we can target a specific asset class, we need distress. We need some reason why there's a discount so that there's an appropriate margin for us to try hard every day at this. So we're looking for some reason somebody needs to sell quickly. Some reason somebody needs to sell with creative finance, because we can't just go pay market for things and make money. And so because we're looking for that, it changes the dynamic. It makes it a people business, But yeah, we're always hunting. It's like we're sharks looking for distress, But if you're gonna make a deal work, it's like you really got to understand people's problems with their real estate, But everybody knows real estate's expensive. They could just go to the market. So why can I buy any houses? It's like, if I can't be creative and pay attention to people, I'll never have any success. So that's what my business has developed into, is just trying to sit with sellers and figure them out,
That's great. No, I love to hear it. Definitely relationships and people really drive this business as much as we think that just the properties do, or just that the capital does. You really have to be able to create those sort of relationships to drive yourself forward, to both learn and to execute. So it's great to hear that with both your experience and everything, you were able to create what you are doing today. And what really caught my attention is the amount of experience that you've had to be able to bring into all this with both property and construction on that, but not seeing the whole process of the way through and outsourcing that. So that's not very easy to do, especially in this climate. I just wanted to ask, how is it that you're able to keep things running so smoothly with the chaotic world that we're living in today?
Well, the truth is it's not smooth. It's just, there's 100 problems to solve every day.
Yeah.
It's just, I just got to be ready to roll with it. I didn't think on this current house we're working on, it's like I designed that cabinet pack 4 or 5 times. It took 7 hours. It took 7 hours of struggle and figuring out how to trim out the transitions and how to not have conflict in the design. And that's something that it's easy to overlook the details. But yeah, it's a detail oriented business, because if a cabinet drawer opens into a door jamb, right, and you have a non-functional house, you don't have a sellable product. You have a tenant that hates you, or a buyer that discovers it later, and what an asshole.
Oh.
It's you have to, and yet we do. None of my houses are perfect. They're still old, even though we fix them a lot. And so yeah, we're it's actually just a constant struggle. We deal with when it's a big business, we deal with a lot of problems, and we just have to stay rolling with it. The finance category is not easy. Hard money is it's very squeamish, as it should be, because the market's going down.
Sure.
And so who's going to loan me on my next project? If the deal's good, there's always somebody to loan it. But it's the same as it was in the beginning. I have to go pitch to a hard money guy. I can make money on this asset, stand up straight and pretty please give me a loan so that we can do more business. It was like that in the beginning, and it's like that again today.
Yeah.
But I have watched that run in a cycle too, because the hard money people, you do a successful project, return their money, and they actually have frequently called me and like, when are we doing another deal? And so that's a good position to be in.
That's good.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Definitely. That building those relationships and making sure that, like you said, keeping a happy tenant, a happy client, making sure that you deliver the product as it's supposed to be delivered. So we touched about a couple of the construction issues that were going in and a couple of the finance ones. When could you go through maybe an experience that you had when sometimes, things kind of got real, when you really had to deal with a challenge that sort of threw things sideways or where you had to pivot fast? It's a lot of good information for the listeners to be able to sort of learn from the problem solving.
Gosh, it's it's all kind of seems unexciting, but like, let me just try to contrast between two. I think a lot of people approach real estate thinking that the four major categories that I have to be well versed in: the acquisitions, finance, construction management, property management. I need to always be
Mm-hmm.
cultivating these skill sets. And I think a lot of investors, they approach, okay, I'm going to set up a rental house so that my family has some long-term cash flow, right? And they're they try to delegate one category. Oh, underestimate at least one or two categories,
Mm-hmm.
and every one of them, a failure in any of them is the whole deal goes belly up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but what makes you fail? It's not exciting details. Like I just bought 800 square feet of flooring for this house, intending to do one product throughout and carpet in the bedrooms. And the guys that I
Mm-hmm.
hired, they started running that flooring product because I failed to communicate, started running that flooring product into the bedrooms. And now that product's discontinued and we had to adapt and change
Mm-hmm.
over our kitchen to a different flooring product. There's $1,000 we didn't anticipate. And
Yep.
because we want to use higher grade products in the main living areas. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's these little non-exciting things that just eat you alive when you have a miscommunication, when the plan doesn't go according. And I'm responsible for all of that. Nobody's to blame but
Yep.
me being asleep at the wheel. Me not being
Got it.
perfectly present in construction management can that's
Mm-hmm.
$1,000. Well, that's a huge percentage of the budget. And it's just
Yeah.
these non-exciting things that we take for granted and just drive a whole project to failure. And
Yeah.
we just got to be committed to survive and figure it out. And okay, where are we at now? And keep navigating forward. But yeah,
That's definitely
it's
the right
really
mindset to be in.
unexciting. The finance is a lot more interesting to me. The market and the
Mm-hmm.
finance, it's like I have spent a lot more time researching markets and knowing the loan products over the years, and largely neglected to be as present as I should be in construction management. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's a teeter-totter, right? If I buy a
Yeah.
house cheap enough and I just totally wing the construction, well, it's a green number at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day. I win. I get like
Yep.
a hero's welcome. I come home profitable, but it's like, that's just doing really good in one category and bad in another. Well,
Understood.
as distressed homes get fewer and far between, we get competition for distressed homes and people are paying more and more for them because everybody watched Property
Mm-hmm.
Brothers yesterday and wants to be a flipper today. And we're all competing with that. It's like we have to be holistic in our approach in order to stay in business.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yep.
yeah, I'm learning those
No, yeah,
boring little details.
that's definitely the kind of stuff that people do not talk enough about. So, you mentioned that it was the boring stuff, but those are the things that really can delay projects. They're the things that people sometimes miss in the details. It's not all exciting. It's not all, big Hollywood movie red carpets. So you got to go through the mundane things to be able to get the business done, to be able to get the job done. And focusing on that is something that really, I believe, separates folks who just sort of dabble in the market versus the ones who actually stay in the game long term. So very, very insightful for that. I wanted to ask you this for your business, dealing with everything that we've been talking about. What is it that you're most focused on solving next? What is the next, real goal for you and your company?
I want to survive and pay attention, right? Right now I'm at a place in my life I could highlight my wins, some of the windfall profits I've made and the really extraordinary deals that I've done. And I could get a stack of cash on Instagram and sell books like I'm a made man and I've made it. That's not the reality of the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
What you see the gurus selling, it's so easy to come away from the closing table with a fat check, right? And be like, look what I did, you know? It's so easy. There's such a glut of that, and that's not it's not realistic. It's actually hurting people to the realities of this business. Just as far as for me, what's next? It's we're still in rough market conditions, right? As things lean up, I want to just stay the course right now and
Got it.
continue to try to find a distressed asset. I've been knocking on foreclosure doors for, gosh, 8 years, just going to the courthouse, getting a list, knocking on their doors. And it's like, I only need one home run a year, one like great real estate deal a year to just continue a trajectory to a great lifestyle and wealth and prosperity. The base hits
That's
along the
great.
way is what makes me eligible for that. So you cannot find those. I've had a couple of deals where I've made a quick 100 grand. But the only way you're ever going to find those is if you're actively prospecting and
Right.
you're doing deals regularly. And so the base hits, the little flips where I peeled out 20 grand, and that's not, I would actually advise people saying that that's not an appropriate profit margin for a flip, right? It's like
Got
every
it.
business
Yeah.
has, if the profit margin is not appropriate, it's too risky. Most flips, I could take them apart. Most flips that most people do that brag at the closing table, if we deconstruct those, they're too risky for too much risk for too small of a profit margin, and they should have got a job at Les Schwab for that same duration of time. It would have been better for them. But they end up bragging at the closing table with a huge check, right?
Yep. Yep.
And that's I love to celebrate the wins and stuff. But yeah, we don't want to. Doing those base hits is what makes you eligible for the occasional home run that the market serves up to you. And yeah, so it's like I just want to stay the course and be more conservative in the coming year, but keep on trying to make
Got it.
deals, keep on prospecting,
That's
and
good.
survive.
Especially with the volatility of the market and everything, being able to survive and just keep going, doing what you're doing well is honestly one of the best courses to look forward to. You know, not every time does someone need to be exponentially growing to be doing well. So that is a very real look at a business and what you could be looking towards in the future, and just being able to be profitable, sustainable, and again, changing lives of the people that you can, go into those foreclosure homes, seeing where you can have those houses flipped for. That's really big. Especially when you got all the experience and the construction area that you go through, and that you manage everything hands-on as well. You know, you're not someone who just externally hires and makes sure that, you know, the other company did it and blame them. You're the one that's there directly managing everything, and that's big. Now, I know that for a lot of people listening here, they're either very early in their journey or they're sort of looking to level up, and I think that they benefit from hearing this. When it comes to building relationships and growing your net, what's made the biggest difference for you in this space?
I always say network is key. So I always say, like, my net worth is made up of 4 categories. Most people know that we keep score on money, and like there's a whole, that's a huge subject, you know, assets, liabilities, accounts receivable. It's 3-dimensional and complicated. Time is a very huge part of our net worth, because how much time you trade for how much money, how much do you have to spend to maintain that financial net worth? But the knowledge and relationships, that's part of our net worth. That's why, like, some of us who have built a good business, it's like, if I started over, it might go better for me if I started from scratch, right? Because of my knowledge and relationships. And so I want to focus on everybody that does business around me winning. And this reminds me of a story. This deal I did about 5 years ago. A wholesaler came to me. I think this was in 2020. He said, I got a house in this neighborhood. I knew the neighborhood pretty well. It's $100,000. And I just said, yeah, I can do that. Like, I'll buy it. And the beautiful thing is, I did a lot of these deals with I made all my best deals with $0 in my bank account. I mean, I got grocery money, but like effectively no working capital, right? So I said yes to $100,000 house when I was completely broke. I called a friend of mine who had capital and said, hey, I found $100,000 house that we should do. He says, and he's a simple-minded older fella. He goes, oh, I'll go halvesies with you. I got 50 grand. And then I called a hard money lender and said, me and my business partner have 50 grand down. We're gonna flip this house. So he loaned me the other 50. So my business partner's half was my down payment. And then I had even though I was a broker, I had a friend in the office be my listing broker on this. And then we ended up just barely cleaning up the property and selling it to another flipper for about 130. My cut was $10,000, and it was in like 6 weeks, right? So I made $10,000 in 6 weeks. But you know what was better than $10,000? Because that's not life-changing money. That's groceries and gas for a couple months,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Very true.
What was life-changing about that was that wholesaler, that broker, that hard money lender, that business partner, we've gone on to do millions of dollars in deals. And I've made so much money. And any of those people, they will pick up my phone call and they're excited to do business with Michael Harter. And that's what
That's
I really
fantastic.
achieved there. And the relationships
Wow.
are absolutely key. So everybody else
That
winning is better than $10,000.
I
That's kind of the moral of
completely
that.
agree, Michael. Relationships are everything in this space, and you really can't fake the important ones. To have those that you can keep going to, and to even, as you said, starting from scratch for those of you who are out there, connect with people, build those relationships, grow your network. Because as from the example that we see here, they can lead to some great, great things in the future. And I wanted to say, before we wrap, if anyone out here wanted to connect with you, maybe collaborate, partner in any sort of business with you, what's the best way for them to reach you? Is it either LinkedIn, Facebook, a phone number,
Email address, michaeljharter@gmail.com.
email address?
Yeah, I'd love to
Perfect. We'll make
help
sure to have
anybody
that
get
for.
started or collab on a deal. Let's do business,
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
I don't know if they
Well,
got that, but
listen, I appreciate, of course. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate your time here, man, your story, your perspective. I appreciate you reaching out to the listeners here. I'm sure that they're going to gain a lot of benefit from your insights and being able to reach out to you. We definitely need more people in this space that are doing it the right way, and you are one of them, my friend. Thank you so much again for being here.
thank you.
For those of you tuning in, if you got some value for this, make sure that you're subscribed. And be sure to be ready for some more conversations with operators just like Mike, who are out there building real businesses. Mike, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Appreciate you guys.
All right, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.